see yourself.
Yeah, I can see
and you
myself.
happy with how you look.
Yeah.
Okay. This it. This is best. This is gonna get.
Hey, you guys, and welcome to a new episode of Heyyy Blk Chile.
The review show where if you know something, it's that we know nothing.
All right, I'm CJ.
And I'm Lesa Love. And we got some good stuff for you today.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about episode 2 of MoonKnight. Oh, my fingers went that way. Of MoonKnight. I can't go that way. This way. Of MoonKnight, which comes on every Wednesday.
Yep, and we still don't know the time, but I found out that they drop them at midnight like they did Power episodes. So you could literally technically watch it on Tuesdays in some states, depending on where you are.
Do we have any news or updates for this week?
Well, we haven't seen Morbius yet.
Right.
Once we see it, I think we are going to do a review on it.
Yeah.
Probably going to have to at this point.
Yeah.
Just so we can be ready for Doctor Strange. But I have heard not so good things about it.
Yeah, I heard the same. My movie guy, he went to the Oscars and he apparently got sick some way somehow. But he was like, yeah, it was horrible. He just left it at that. And everybody was like, well, what did you say? What happened? He was like, it was just not giving what it's supposed to give, but it still gave to a storyline to a certain degree. That's what I heard. It still contributes something. I don't know what, but I heard it was awful, so.
Yeah, okay, so what I heard was that it had gotten a lot of bad critiques that weren't necessarily deserved.
Okay.
But that there was a lot of room for improvement.
Ah, okay.
So I follow Boss Logic, who does a lot of the graphic designs for Marvel now, which is crazy because I remember following him when he used to just do fan art and stuff. And a lot of the actors would repost his stuff, and then eventually he got connected to Kevin Feige and everybody.
Cool.
So he does a lot of the posters and stuff for them now. He legit. I think he's in Australia. But he posted a Venom post a couple of days ago from when we're recording this, and he said he watched it and that it didn't necessarily deserve all the bad press, but he did see where he specifically mentioned something about acts 2 and 3.
Okay. So
the middle and the end probably. He said they kind of the pace of them was off. I'm paraphrasing. And then he said it was a lot of unnecessary side characters.
I heard this was Tyrese's most boring role to date.
I forgot Tyrese was in this movie, to be honest with you. And that ain't no shade to Tyrese.
Yeah, no. I love when
Tyrese usually has a good, funny moment. In any movie, he randomly gets put in.
Literally,
when they threw him in Fast and the Furious, I was like, what is Tyrese doing here? But he became a great comedic relief.
I love him.
Whether he wanted to be or not.
Right.
It was great.
He was in this little kid Christmas movie and somebody stepdaddy. I said, Tyrese. So
yeah, he didn't come. Tyrese stay with a check now. Y'all be sleeping on him, but
I just feel bad for Jared Leto because I just feel like he cannot win.
No.
In any type of the hero genre.
I don't think this is his, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think this is his genre. Just to be frank. Okay. I love My So-Called Life. I think he was great in it. Also he was practically a child. But I don't see him as somebody that really can dissolve into the fantasy element of it. Now, I don't know. I haven't read any interviews he's done. I haven't watched anything. So I don't know if he's a big comic book person. I don't think you have to be to play certain roles. No. I think you need to read them to do the research. Yeah. But I don't know, because his performance as the Joker also was not that stand outish is what I'll say.
Okay, that's fair.
And to be fair, it is hard to play the Joker after Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah. Now Joaquin Phoenix did it, but
did really good.
It was several decades. It was over a decade later.
Yeah.
He didn't he wasn't the next one right after.
Yeah, true. And I feel like he had a whole movie. Like Joaquin had a whole movie. Like
he didn't have to jump
story.
into an existing.
Yeah.
I mean, he did, but he didn't. His was more so set on setting up the mindset of the Joker.
Yeah.
Versus him in combat with Batman. So that's also helped him shine a lot in that role because he really didn't have anybody going against him but himself. Yeah. And so it was a little different, but I don't know. I was always kind of on the fence about Jared Leto in this role. To be honest with you,
do you know much about it? Like Morbius, I know.
I know he a vampire. I know he ugly. Not Jared Leto, the character. The character, he's like. Yeah, I know he ugly and he's skinny, and I was just like, okay, well, Jared Leto skinny, and that's
about it.
Yeah, like him, I feel like I haven't watched it, so we'll do another. Yeah,
like a whole thing.
We'll do a whole thing about it. But I feel like I'm going to enjoy him more playing the doctor than I am the vampire. Okay. If that makes sense.
No, like the whole like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing.
Is it still bad when it's a justifiable thing? It's a whole thing.
Okay, I'm excited.
Which kind of plays into the theme of episode 2.
Right, literally. So you're gonna just like dive into this?
Yes. As always, we have our notes.
I actually wrote it on paper this time, people. I had a lot of paper.
I did a whole page of notes. And since your notes were extra specific,
they were.
I paused the episode in several places so I could write down my notes. So I would like for you to start, but I want to say the title.
Tell us
because I wrote it down this time.
Tell us the
Episode 2 of Moon Knight is titled Summon the Suit.
And baby, did he. Okay, before we dive into this, give me your overall like thoughts about everything. Like overall. Like how are you feeling?
How do I feel? Okay, I'm just gonna give you the characters' names and one word description of how I felt in the episode.
Okay.
Steven, shut up. I love you, but shut up. Layla, we gonna see.
Okay.
And that's not a one word. I know I've already reneged on what I said, but I couldn't describe her in one word.
Okay, that's fair.
Mark Zeddy.
Baby.
All day,
Baby.
All day, day.
I'm going in when we get to this part.
Okay. Arthur, still greasy. And that's it. That's really the only people of substance. That I felt like I need to give a description of. So you take the lead, CJ.
Okay. I said a fun episode, but still tragic. You won't. If y'all want to stop here, understand that we are going to like dive into the episode, so there will be spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Right. So, but let's talk about that opening scene. We with our boy Steven, and he decides that he want to get up out of bed and just place pit, like hit the floor.
Hit the body, hit the body, hit the floor.
So, what were your thoughts about this opening scene? Like now we just left the museum. That's where we left off when we met like Moon Knight, the character. Now we're back as Steven again.
Yeah.
Back kind of where we started essentially.
Yeah. So I said opening, Lord Steven in this bite lock. And that's all I put for the first actual scene. And then as he's walking into the museum, I made note of the cinematography leading up the stairs.
Ooh, okay.
I thought that was a really, really good shot.
Yeah.
Where they literally turned, it was an overhead shot, and then they eventually just rotated the camera slowly till he was upside down walking into the museum.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a great allegory.
Ooh, not an allegory. Fancy word.
was a great allegory for his whole world's going turning upside down.
Literally, that's what I wrote down too. We love it. We love to hear it.
The vibes.
Well, I thought it was funny when Steven woke up, and the first thing he did was try to call my baby daddy Mark. He said, "Mark, come through this mirror. Talk to me.
Come talk."
And Mark said, "I ain't got time today. Like, you gonna figure this out. Like, maybe it'll be a dream." I thought it was funny how he walked up in that museum, though. He was like, But I did peep that camera flip because I thought that was a fun time.
Oh my gosh, I love that overhead shot.
I was like, ooh, that was, because I was like, ooh, Stevie, your feelings about to be hurt. Because he go in there and bruh was in there putting up the look.
I wrote down his name. His name is JB.
Oh, it's JB?
According to the closed caption.
Oh. So they told me bruh. I thought he said bruv.
Bruv is like English. It's like bruh.
Oh, bruh.
And like British or whatever.
Oh, I can't keep up with the slang.
They be like bruv or whatever. I'm not going to do the accent again. But it's bad. But
this is America.
It's not.
I know it's not.
It's a dumpster fire.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah. Okay, so JB up in them, putting them little things up. Like, I was weak when they went to the camera room to go look at the footage. I thought it was a good time.
I knew it was not going to go in Steven's favor.
It never do.
I wrote, JB is over Steven. Because he keep calling him everything but Steven. And
what do you call him?
Scotty. It was not Steven with the V, as he so has adamantly said multiple times to you. JB said, none of my concern.
Yeah.
And then I said, roll that beautiful being footage.
Well, I was weak because, like, Steven was like, bro, yo, you about to just go through it, bro. You about to see it. This is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. And I was like, no, Steven, this is about to blow your mind.
And your job.
Because we ain't seen nothing on them cameras. Nothing.
So the little doggy.
Wait, they called it dang it, I forgot it right there.
A jackal.
A jackal. Look, a jackal. I was trying to figure out what it was last time. I knew it.
You got it.
Thank you. That jackal. I just want to point out my episode movie guy, Straw Hat Goofy, love you. His whole thing was the attention to detail, because I was thinking what he had, the jackal had to tear something up in the museum. Didn't touch a thing.
Nope.
Nothing. So I was like, you literally had no proof except the basement.
Yeah.
But
the whole thing, because JB came in when Steven came in, JB saw he was being real messy.
He was.
He was like, bro,
let's get
somebody done the bedroom.
He really did. I thought it was dumb of Steven to go back after as Steven, you met Arthur at your job. I'm confused on why you keep going back. To your job, but you went told everybody where to find you. Yeah. Where to get you.
Well, we all know at this point, and we only on episode 2, but we all know at this point that Steven is not smart.
No.
He is book smart, but he has no streets. You could not drop him off in the hood and he would survive. Mark would have to take over immediately or they would both die. This
really was the episode of book smarts versus street smarts. That literally was the theme of the episode, because good. Well, okay, Steven get fired.
The only thing that probably would have made that better would have been if Donna was the one firing him.
Yes.
I feel like you brought Donna in to be such a BITCH.
Right.
And then you just let her, you mishandled the opportunity for her to really go ham on Steven.
Yes.
Now, we're not saying we ain't gonna see Donna no more, but you the only one looking for Donna. But
I am. They hurt my feelings. I was like, Steven, the only thing I'm mad about you getting fired is the fact that we don't see Donna no more yelling and cussing you out for the foolishness that you are. Because as we continue on this episode, you deserved everything Donna told you. And then some. That's why she's my queen. I told you who's the real hero of the story? Donna.
I still love Steven. I love him despite his flaws. Now, I did say he need to shut up. But we gonna get to that.
Okay. So Steven okay, what did you feel about him talking to the little statue man again? Because I'm still trying to understand this connection.
I wrote down my exact thoughts during that scene. Okay. I said, one, first of all, Oscar/Steven's hair looks bad. It needed a little bit of grease in it, or like some argan oil, just like to go in and
just I don't know. He looked a little rough in the beginning of this episode.
That Caribbean melanin influence in his bloodline was coming out real strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was looking dry. And I want better for him. Yeah. So then I said, oh man, he lost his job. And then I said, whoa. And then I said, Lord Steven needs some friends.
Baby. I mean, JB didn't want to be his friend.
JB didn't even want to know his name.
You so right. He
JB is here so he won't get fined. And we all know what that's like.
Yeah, you right.
He is showing up. He is barely on time. Yeah. He is texting the whole time he's there. Mm-hmm. Or hiding in the closet probably. Because you can do that at museums. I used to work at one. And you can hide under stairway closets and talk on the phone for a good 30 minutes before someone misses you.
Where are you? No, it really yet again shows how like isolated Steven is, and like he literally has nothing.
No, but I think that's the point, though. Yeah, of that personality is to like have him have a mundane life, so he can kind of live in fear and live in the uncertainty and all of that stuff, right? Yeah. So that Mark can go out and do what he needs to do without trying to balance both. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, but we'll get into this.
Right, so, okay.
Moving on.
So, Steven decides, I'm going to become Inspector Gadget. Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to become, who, Pink Panther? And go find this locker. The storage locker. Now, what sent me with the storage locker is that he come in, an old dude posted up like, he like, bro, I ain't seen your face before. I'll never forget a face.
And so that was a very black moment. We don't get a lot of black moments in Marvel. Not really. Not outside of Wakanda, I would say. But that was a very black moment. Up until this point, JB was the blackest person we had seen in this show because of how he was acting at work. That was he had very black behavior, reminiscent of a security guard. Yeah. But this dude that worked at the store shit was very black because black people will tell you that all the time. I know your face.
Right. I ain't seen you.
You so-and-so child. Like your mama. I went to school with your mama. And you tell your mama, I said, hey, girl, I ain't see you look just like her too. You know your mama was out here in them streets. But I'm glad she settled down. Cause look at you. I bet she's so proud of you. They do all this unnecessary BS. Yeah. And then you ask your mama about it, and she be like, I don't even like her. Yeah. Every time. And be like, what she speak to you for? I don't like her. Every time. And then if you see that person again, you gonna be, oh yeah, she said hey. That was him being fake because he, first of all, comes up, oh yeah, man, I know you. I see you all the time.
Right. I see you around here all the time. That little sound like something my dad would say.
No, and well, he has confused him. He was like, but the only reason I believed him is because he knew he took him straight to his locker. He took him straight to the locker. I was like, see, you can't even open the locker by yourself. But I was like, you need all the help you can get at this point. Baby. All of it. Mm-hmm. And so we go into this locker. And let me tell you how my man Mark keep it nice and tight. That's how you know he's crazy.
I was like, okay, a military man.
I have yet to meet a very neat man that was not borderline crazy.
Wow.
Have you?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very terrifying because that place was very sterile.
It's interesting because like Steven's place, it's just a hot mess. Like I mean, it's stuff everywhere. I mean, you got books in the corner, you got sand on the floor. I mean, it's a hot mess over there. So I guess to go to Mark's side, you see, it's just a very well put together, very minimalist, like neat. It looked kind of cute. I was like, oh, okay, it's cute. So I was
that was your OCD kicking in. You're like, oh, this feels nice. No sand on the ground.
Also, Steven too. like sometimes life get chaotic. I don't know.
Well, I didn't.
Steve.
Okay, well, I did write some things.
Let me know.
I told you I had took serious notes. I lied.
Okay.
So, but I did, this is serious. I wrote down 43 because I was like, what does 43 means? And then I went to my guy, Emergency Awesome. Shout out to Charlie. And he said that was the comic book. That was the last comic book of Werewolf by Night, I believe.
Okay.
Which is where MoonKnight was first introduced in the Marvel comic book universe. And so I did pause it and scan that QR code.
And it was a QR code?
Yes, it was a very brief, like less than, I want to say less than 10 seconds that it was on screen. But I just paused it because when he opened the locker, there was the number 43 and there's a QR code next to the 43.
Oh.
So I scanned the QR code.
And where did it lead you?
It actually led me to a free comic. So if you go back, I don't know the timestamp. I should have wrote that down. But if you go to the timestamp of when Steven is first opening the door to the store shed, it will take you to a free online Marvel comic. And I think it's Marvel Universe or something. It's a subscription. But they're going to do weekly updates. With the different comics. I believe it was a Werewolf by Night comic too. It might have been 43. I didn't pay that much attention, but
now I gotta go home.
But yeah, so go back.
That's
people.
fine.
Get your phone.
This is the real Inspector Gadget.
Investigative journalism for that.
Right here.
But these are my notes I wrote once we walked into the room.
Okay.
What in the world is in that room? What you got in that room? And I was like, oh, Mark, you live in here? And then he pulled the bag open, and I was like, ooh, he got money. He got money. And then I was like, Mark Spector. Because at that point, he had been just Mark. So,
oh, yeah, you're right.
And then we got into the conversation where they were talking to each other. So I'll let you pick up there, because I do have a couple more notes there.
Okay. So I was like, I don't want to go about this. Steven walks in this man's room, Mark's room, has the audacity to go through this man's stuff and yell at him. Yeah. And then when Mark tried to give you an explanation about what's going on, you're like, I can't do this, and I'm just gonna like blow the whole world up. Because let's talk about that conversation they had.
Steven's a drama queen, and I'm here for it. I'm here for you, Steven.
This is the beginning of when Steven was starting to get on my nerves.
You said he got on your nerves last week with the accent.
You're right. And I let it go because I understood Mark was on the other side. So I knew it was going to be okay. But no, this is the true beginning of when Steven was starting to really get on my nerves. Because Mark told you, listen, we work for this dude named Kansu. It's complicated. You do your part, I do my part, and then we go about our business. And then you like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna turn ourselves in. Like, how you gonna turn Mark in if you Mark? You gonna turn yourself in. And as he did say, so you don't have other people. Oh my God.
You sound like him.
Thank you. But okay, let's talk about Kansu though. So Kansu is our Egyptian god of the moon, who apparently takes over bodies. In the words of protect the vulnerable and deliver justice to those who hurt them.
I didn't write none of that down.
I wrote that. I thought that was interesting. I'll say it one more time for people in the bed. Protect the vulnerable and deliver justice to those who hurt them. So you a thief in the night.
Sounds very Batman-ish.
It did. I was like,
very privileged, rich man to me. I'm just saying. I'm backtracking to the conversation where he's literally arguing with himself.
Literally.
And I put, I love that he complimented himself. Because he told Mark, I don't care how handsome you are.
Right?
And I was like, that's right. Self-love, Steven. You better put that self-love in the midst of your chaos. And then I said, Kansu, okay. All right.
Let's talk about that scene when when like Steven trying to like bolt and Kansu came out the little locker room or came out of wherever Kansu been floating.
Yeah.
That scared the poop out of me. I was like, it terrified me. I was like, why is this shaking? And I'm like, Steven, why you ain't getting nowhere? And Kansu was like, you better stop playing.
Steven ain't smart enough to pay attention to his surroundings to know how to leave out the storage place. Also, what kind of storage place is that where them lights come on like that? Because all the ones I done had, you just flip the little switch and all the lights come on.
Baby.
But baby, we got pull. And I'm like, this is too much.
So what did you think of that scene? Because now it just hit me. What did you think of that scene where it looked like it was like a photograph of him? You know what I mean? Like it was like a big yellow light moment.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to the cinematography there other than like the lighting.
Yeah.
But I do think that they, like, again, I think they did this whole thing of us being with Steven on feeling the fear, the unknowingness, the anxiety, because we're learning all these things as Steven is learning them. So now we're like, okay, because I think this is the beginning of them starting to push us out and make us the audience again.
Yeah, they did do that a lot.
Yeah, because this episode was a lot more like, okay, well, y'all are gonna see behind.
Yeah.
Not breaking the fourth wall, but putting y'all back behind the fourth wall. I feel like we've been with Steven on this little journey this whole time. Everything was from Steven's perspective. So when he was gone, we blacked out. When he came back, we were just as confused. Yeah. And then the whole thing with the phone and Layla and the job, we were all confused. We're finding out people can't see the little ugly dogs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, I think this scene kind of like started to push us back out to where we're just observers. Like there's a little bit of fear, but we're still seeing things mostly from Steven's perspective until we get to the end. But yeah, it was interesting. I felt like it was a little...
See, what you saying that. Remember last time he met with Kansu? Mm-hmm. And Mark took back over, it seemed like. You know what I mean? Because remember that he was in the elevator but this didn't happen. So maybe the yellow light meant that, like, there is no more, like, switching back, because they do talk about that a little bit more in the episode. Mm-hmm. But, like, he's staying. Like, I think maybe it was him, like, blocking him out. Yeah. Because most times when it starts flashing like that means, like, Steven's, like, losing control and Mark's taking back over. Yeah. From what I understand from, like, learning from this episode. So then, like, once we got out of that scene, because I was thinking, okay, well, maybe we're going to go back to being asleep. But no, we were, like, outside, and we had Steven, and then we get to meet Layla.
Yes! I said Layla... Oh, them upside down, sorry. I said Layla comes through in the clutch. Yeah.
I said Layla equals wife. Wife equals I need more backstory. Yeah. Layla...
She added more confusion.
Yeah. She really did. Because, she was like, why you holding me like that? Just hold me. I was like, ooh, you trying to call on Mark. Mark ain't coming out, girl. But let me tell you how Steven was coming for Mark's wife, though. Mm-hmm. I understand they're the same person, but coming for Mark's wife.
When he was like, divorce? I would never divorce you. Steven!
You better stop. Okay, sit down. He trying to fight for Layla. That's the real tea. That's what I got from this episode.
Well, baby, now hold on. See, this is what got... But before I told Steve... This was before I told Steve to shut up. But when he was speaking French... Oh. I said, okay. I said, come on, French. Bonjour. Croissant.
Well, okay. Layla, this whole, like, the scene with Layla, clearly she knows a lot. Mm-hmm. They were married at one point, or she was married to Mark. Yeah. So Layla knows a lot because she's like, oh, the suit and this, and like, why are you acting like that? Why are you talking like that? Like, when was the last time you saw something? Like, clearly, like, we need more scenes with Layla. Yeah. So we can get more information. Which even Steven said that. Like, you the only one who can answer my questions. So,
yeah. And it's funny because Layla's not in the comics.
Really?
No. So Layla is supposed... My guy says that Layla is supposed to be like a combination of two different characters. Ah, okay. From the comics. Because he did have a love interest in the comics, but I forgot her name. But it was just like a blonde white lady. I can't remember her name. But y'all can put it in the comments. But she is supposed to be like a combination of two side characters from the comic books, and they kind of combine them together. Okay. So he thinks that she has like some type of archaeology background. Okay. Which is why she understood the hieroglyphics and yeah. So when he was talking to her before the knock at the door, yeah. She mentioned the mom. He mentioned the mom. Yeah, because she was like, "Whose apartment is this? Are you living here with someone else?" And he was like, "Layla ready to throw them hands, it's baby. My mom's flat." And he was like, "Oh, y'all back talking?" Yeah. So it's again, who was he talking to? Who is Steven talking? So is Steven dialing the number of someone that Mark has created to make him think it's his mother, so he can feed that need to have that relationship with her again? Or is his mom... Well, obviously his mom is not dead because Layla was like, y'all back talking. So...
I got a theory on... I have a whole theory on this whole, like, Steve and Mark relationship. So, I do. So I'm going to keep it for the end because I'm going to give you my theory.
Okay, I have a theory too. Okay. But we'll do the like a final thoughts. Yeah, I do have a theory about why Steven came to be. And then, knocking on the wall.
Oh, what's up? Let me tell you how Steven, yet again, the beginning of when Steven is getting on my nerves. You met crazy author. Everything that happened before all of this, was real at this point. Everything, you have confirmation. You got the little confidence thing. Yeah, the scarab. You and met Layla. All of this is crazy. So is somebody knocking on my door? I know I'm fine. They gave me my severance package, whatever. I'm good to go. Why are you opening the door for people you don't know? And he's like, I didn't have anything. And I'm like, Steven, what's wrong with you? You asked to get kidnapped. And thank God Layla had enough sense to take her behind up on their roof and hide. Because she got sense.
Right now, she the only one with sense.
The only one. I was like, Steven. And he just like, come on in. Come into my flat. It's a little small and illuminated, messy, but come on in.
Steven.
That was too much. And I was like, and then you just gonna let them take you? You gonna let them just take you?
Yeah, he did.
And he just got in the car. I was like, this why...
Because he wants to get arrested. He thinks that's going to solve his problems. But it's not.
It's not. I just...
I wrote, the popo. And then I said, where we going? And then we were in front of the Jesus Walk Sandals dude.
All over again. Now, from this point, this is when this stuff was hilarious to me. Because Arthur is the real MVP of this episode. Arthur sent me. Let's talk about that car ride though. So we in the car. We learn about Mark. Mark is a wanted fugitive, an international wanted fugitive, because he out here like killing people left and right. Allegedly, but we saw the bodies. But I was like, And so Steven learned this too, and he's like, oh my God, I'm a killer. And I'm like,
but they had the scales.
Yeah, they did. I was like, not the Illuminati sign. Oh, get it. Everybody was like, let me flash this tattoo. Don't try me. I loved it. But I thought that was interesting. Like I said, it's all going to play into my theory in the end. Okay. So, Steven rolled out the car. Off the light. Hey, friend. How you doing? And he's like, I know Kansu's in there talking smack about me. And literally called Kansu out word for word.
I said, ooh, Shay. I said, hey, he know about Kansu. And I was like, ooh, Shay. To kill me?
Get him.
Yeah, I was like, kill him.
And he's telling him to rip my throat out. And he's like, can you hear him?
He said, not no more.
He can't do nothing without you, girl. He said he can make all this noise and cause a tornado or hurricane, but that's about it. Like, we're fine.
Often sound like when you meet a girl that used to date the guy you trying to break up with right now, and she be like, girl, let me say this all you gotta do. Tell him his daddy ain't nothing, and then he gonna cry because his daddy left him when he was 3.
Yeah.
And then you can leave, girl. You can just leave. And I feel like that's how Arthur was. You can just leave,
You can leave, girl. You don't have to do
You ain't got to do this, girl. And then Casa was like, don't listen to him, baby. I love you. And then Steven was like, this is an abusive relationship. But baby, him reading Kansu for filth was hilarious because it was probably true.
Everything. I was like, you ain't. It was I wrote this down. I am real justice. Arthur was like, did he just say I am real justice?
Arthur was like, he probably saying that.
Right, he's saying that. Now this is where Arthur really was reading folks this whole scene. Because he was like, your mind would, because he was like, what did he have to do? Is your mind so easy to break or because it was already broken? I said,
dang, double homicide.
I said, don't cut off the, what does it mean? Steven's like, I'm fine, I just need a little help.
Double homicide.
I felt like he was coming for me in that scene, and I was Steven like, dang, I just need some help. Some assistance.
Because poor Steven, that poor baby, he was just trying to get some help. He knew.
He really was.
He knew he was like, but I don't. That's gonna go into my theory, but
okay.
Yeah, poor Steven.
Poor Steven.
Poor baby.
Because baby, Arthur read you down, honey.
He did. He didn't even take a sip of water.
He didn't. And then, oh my God, so like when they were walking in like the little cute little cafeteria spot or whatever, you know, he kept calling Victor. Did Victor not look like Spooky from On My Block to you?
Don't do that, because Spooky was my man.
Baby, I said, is that Spooky?
I cried with Spooky.
I said, Spooky, it's that you. They wouldn't go compete on him. But I felt like, why you gonna point out Victor? And I can't see Victor's face for real. But he look like Spooky.
I mean, yeah, he do look different with hair.
He do.
He is fine both ways.
Baby.
Both
Find you somebody who can do both. Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, I have to rewatch that scene to see. But yeah, because like Spooky got my heart.
But besides Spooky cooking the lentil soup for everybody,
I wrote in my notes, Steven, don't you eat that soup?
Oh baby, I
ain't see no running water in that place. First of all, I ain't see no hand sanitizer on the tables. Did Spooky wash his hands?
I don't know.
Because we know Spooky was a chef when he was in California. We don't know what he doing right now in London.
Nope.
But I'm just like, he made the soup. What kind of soup? I didn't see no salt. I didn't see any pepper. Did anyone season the soup? I didn't even see no oyster crackers. If you ain't gonna have no none of the 98-cent pack from the saltine, when he gonna eat the soup? Did you see some bread? I didn't see nothing. Don't eat that soup.
Every show, every movie, everybody tell you don't eat anything that anybody gives to you because they can put drugs in it. You idiot! Like, come on, bro.
You should always assume there's drugs in it.
Always. I was just like,
or it's at the very least, feces covered hands prepared it, and that's what you should think about.
And that's it. I just So they eating their little soup on the table. And we get to learn about why they needed that little the
scarab.
The scarab. Thank you. I wrote it down. I just can't remember. Okay. And so, Arthur works for Amit, who likes to tear evil from the root.
Free my Amit.
No. I was with Steven.
I need a shirt. I want a shirt that say free Amit. Yeah.
Oh, wait, before we go to Amit, though, we did learn a lot about Kansu because Kansu is the outcast of the family.
Yes.
So he is the one nobody rock with him. They all think he's full of it, but I feel like he is the problematic child because he be saying the truth.
He's Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
7 foot friends.
He got school on his back.
School on his back.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because then his whole thing is I punish those who have already done harm. And so...
And free my Amit because he was like, you ain't gonna get to do no harm on my watch. Do no harm. She took the Hippocratic oath and she was like, blah, 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 out of here. That old lady, she probably smacked some kid in the face or something, or didn't wash her hands before she gave somebody some brownies. Bye, out of here, gone. Ain't got to deal with that. Cut back on it. We wouldn't, if our mint was free, we wouldn't have COVID.
I can't with you. We would all be dead then, because I feel like everybody, like, you know how it's always like a catch with stuff. Yeah, this is what it's giving.
Now, I'm free, I admit, until we get to the conversation Steven had. I was like, yes, free my bitch. Give her out the clean.
Not you riding for Ovid. It's funny how you come for my choices and how you riding for Ovid. The crocodile lady.
Yes.
Who wants to eradicate evil.
She already got her accessories on her head.
Well, okay. Here's another thing. We kind of skipped over this a little bit. Arthur, fun fact, used to be Khonshu's avatar. I was like, nah, last airbender, let me stop.
Which essentially is what Mark and Steven are now. Yeah. So, he was the old MoonKnight.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, how do you switch from like one person to the next? Like, because then I was thinking, okay, clearly something happened between you and Khonshu. Unless Armin came in them DMs and was like, hey, I can offer you something better.
I think that's what it was. I think he probably was like, bye girl, I'm going over here. Yeah. Winning team only. You know how when people be leaving jobs and being like, I'm going over here.
I'm going over here.
And then they be like, girl, it's the same crap. Good. She just paid me a little bit more, but then I got to work extra weekends. You know, it's like that. Yeah. I feel like it was either that or he set Mark/Steven up. Yeah. I feel like he had something to do with it. Because the way he so smoothly went into knowing that automatically it was Khonshu, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, he really did though. And see, I also thought it was interesting because we also learned with Khonshu, because Mark kept saying, okay, we got like, you know, I'm gonna pause because we can pick that back up later when they have that conversation between us two. But I thought it was interesting because then I'm like, okay, do you keep the glass on your feet to help you like stay awake so you don't like shut down? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we never revisited the nasty feet thing.
I feel like we are.
That's weird.
Unless he has to constantly donate blood. Like, I don't know. A lot of theories, people. But essentially, my boy Arthur asked for what was his, what was rightfully his. No. His scarab, so he can find his boss lady and give her the world, essentially. That's all.
Girl boss.
So she can murder children.
That's not what he had said.
Yes, it was.
That didn't come up until...
If I got to take a limb off, we have to think about the greater whole of the body.
Steven brought up the children. Ain't nobody saying that. And we work with kids. You know kids be bad.
But, I mean, you gonna judge them before they even get an opportunity to do something?
No, all the bad kids come in my office all the time.
I know, but you can change them. It's a path, people. A path.
Shout out to my child that got A's and B's today.
Oh, good. We love to hear it. We love a smart, cool kid.
What a transition she made. So happy for her. But yes, I said free Ahmed, and then I was like, Steven, you talk too much.
A baby.
But then I was like, say the kids, Steven.
Say the kids.
At least I love the kids.
Do for the kids.
But if kids wasn't involved and it was just grown folks, free Ahmed all day.
I'm crying. No. Oh my God, I feel bad because I was like,
adults are trash.
Steven was like, I ain't got that thing, that scurb. It is. Okay, now this is what making me not trust Layla. You gonna walk your behind in there. You had the advantage, Layla. The advantage.
Had the scarab.
You could have put that somewhere. Unless they had magical powers to find it, which they probably do. But like, you could have put that somewhere. And yet you walked your big old head behind in there. Oh, you got the scarab.
And then I was like, Layla, ride or die. She gonna stick beside him.
Baby. And she said...
She not gonna make good choices, but she gonna stick beside him.
The suit.
And he was like, okay.
Summon the suit. He's like, get the suit. I was like, Steven, it's time for you to suit up.
She said, suit up. He said, what's that? She was like, suit up. And he was like...
Mark's in the mirror telling him.
Suit up. And then he was like...
Let me take over.
It's summon the suit.
Let me come on. I'm ready. Let me do it. And then
he falls, and great.
Oh my God, that was everything.
That was perfectly edited and shot. God, it looked like one seamless shot.
Yeah.
One seamless shot.
Because I was like, oh, this is about to end bad. And I was like, oh, whoa.
I thought he was going to fall on his little face and break his jaw again.
That's what I was thinking.
No, but he went down as Steven and he came up as Steve on.
Baby, I
was like, waiting to see us on her crib. We got the suit on. I can't see your face no more. It's working for me. I don't know why.
As long as I got my suit and tie, everything gonna be all right. I don't know.
I was like, I need to put on a white dress and stand next to him.
Baby.
Like, I feel like, oh, God, if I had like a Sailor Moon in her little white dress outfit, I would, ooh, baby, we would look so cute together.
This was Steven. Only grace for me not wanting him to just disappear.
I said,
was that suit.
Through that.
Baby. I was like, not the fit. I was like.
And he's like, I think I look pretty. You Steven, you look gorgeous.
Baby.
You looked gorgeous with your face covered up and your eyes
Mark
all
was like, what is this? He was like, she asked for a suit. I said purr, because he ready to meet her at the altar in her white dress. Because we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do. Let's get married. That's exactly what Steven said to Mark's wife.
For settlers.
We ain't doing this with you. So they fighting the what's the little dog name? Spaniel? The Spaniel?
The jackal?
Oh.
That's the Spaniel, man. It done mixed up two breeds.
The jackal.
The jackal.
The jackal. So we can't, into a normal human eye, we're not allowed to see the jackal. So
which explains the security footage.
Yep. And yeah, it was one of those. Well, now we know Layla. I mean, I'm not gonna say she's not special, but like we know she ain't got like powers either.
Yeah, well, we know she can't see the things that like Steven and Arthur can see.
Yeah. So, which interesting. Okay. And of course, like we got our suit and tie, and Steven just started getting his butt whooping that suit and tie. I was like, thank God it don't stain.
Yeah, I put you got knocked the out.
And what's sad is Layla couldn't even see that thing. Couldn't even see it. It did way more than you, Steven. Way more. I was like...
She was like, oh, I can't see it. Let me throw some liquid on it. Oh, there it is.
And Steven's like, I'm going to get it. I got it. And then Mark's like, please, bro, you want me to let me handle this? And he's like, no, I'm going to save... Wait, what?
Layla?
Yes, Layla. I'm going to do it.
Steven is definitely Captain Save a Hoe.
Baby.
Not calling Layla a hoe, but he's definitely got that mentality.
That's what I'm saying. This whole episode was Steven coming for Mark's wife. I was like, this is disrespectful.
I mean, it's technically his wife, too.
Yeah, it's Mark's wife.
Okay.
Because Steven was coming for her, and I was just like, Mark gonna fight you.
Yeah.
Which is himself, but like, he gonna fight you.
Yeah.
That's what I do know. Because that was out of pocket. This whole episode, Steven was trying to prove a point. I'm in control. I can save the day. You couldn't do nothing. Then you got one good punch in. One good punch. And I was like, yeah, Steven. And then that was about it after that.
He got knocked the else out again. And I hit my car almost.
I was looking at the old lady. They were like, he's a fancy drunk. Just fighting
it. I was like, he just drunk fighting hell, y'all. There ain't nothing wrong with him. He'll be all right. You got to sleep it off.
And I'm just happy Mark, was like, I need you to look, bruh, because a lot of people gonna get hurt if you just don't let me just do what I do best, which is kill things, essentially. So he let my baby daddy Mark take over.
Which love that we got to see like the full suit.
Yes.
Not just like 2 seconds. Like we had to see him like really get to work. Mm-hmm. I mean, he killed that thing in like 2 seconds. And then I was like,
baby.
Woo! Great costume design, y'all.
Yes. It was, oh my God. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Legit, probably one of the best costumes.
I would say probably, yeah. I mean, next to... No, I think it might be one of the top ones next to... I would say for me, my personal fave was the second version of the Black Panther.
Yes. Oh my God. So nice. I even like Killmonger with the gold one.
Yes, like, that.
Y'all hate
Roof Carter.
But Wakanda, they always come to slay, and that's it.
True. I mean, like, all the costumes in there were great. I mean, everything. Even the little tribe with the scarf.
Mm-hmm. Best dress at the funeral. Mm-hmm. Listen, baby. Ooh. A queen with that dress. I said.
R.I.P. Tony.
And this don't make no sense.
If you gonna be around, first of all, if Bucky was gonna be there, I would have dressed like that too. Mm-hmm. So my ex is gonna be at the funeral. I'm going to show up and stunt.
It's like, I was like, it's a shame that all the money went to Wakanda, but it is what it is because Black excellence. Man,
what if we find out one day like Wakanda was real and it was just named something else, and they just been keeping us out this whole time because we just too ratchet.
Chicken under here.
Ain't nothing on there. Nothing on there but disappointment.
About my baby daddy Mark. So Mark making an appearance. I thought he could at least say hey to Layla, but I let him say just do what you do best, baby, and handle it. I said, her Mark.
Okay, let's wrap it up and then we can go into our theories.
Okay, I'm just saying this, Mark. You can call me whatever you want because, like you said, he handled it. He had a punch Steven in the face through the mirror. Like, okay, what did you think about his whole conversation with Khonshu?
Obviously there's definitely some layers to that.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out how Khonshu would even make Layla his avatar. Yeah. Without her dying, because I think that's the whole thing is she has to die. Yeah. So I'm wondering what that is about. I'm wondering what the deal is about. Like, why did Martin make the deal? Was it to protect Layla in the first place? Or was it for a selfish reason? Because he didn't want to die? I just want to know, like, all of the details on that as to, like, hopefully we get a flashback. But it was, Mark is definitely troubled. Obviously, you got two people living in his brain. But Mark is definitely troubled in the sense that whenever we do see him, he is not ever light. He is heavy.
Well, but see, interesting enough, remember last episode he asked the girl out, so like clearly like he's like a ladies' man.
I think he was doing that for Steven though. He did it as Steven. I mean, he pretended to be Steven when he did it because the girl was like, yeah, we're gonna go out for steak and da-da-da. Because I feel like Mark loves Layla. Like, he would never be with anybody else as Mark. I think he literally was out, maybe saw the girl, and to avoid her having to, like, be like, oh, yeah, I saw Steven out doing this. He probably asked her out to distract her. And then when Steven woke back up, it was like, oh, I got a date? And then... You know what I'm saying? I think he was trying to do that for Steven because Steven lives a very lonely life.
He really do.
So I think he was trying to, like, give that one... Because, you know, in the first episode, Steven said he never had a girlfriend, remember? Yeah. So I think Mark was trying to, like, help Steven. I think Mark is very protective of Steven. Yeah. Because remember, Khonshu was like, you said you could handle it. And he was like, I told you I'll get it under control. And he was like, it don't look like it. And then when Khonshu was like, remember whose body this is? It was like, oh, okay. Like, like, it's my body, but you actually control it because I'm your avatar. So it's kind of sad, but...
Yeah. But see, but also Khonshu said, you like this. So, which I thought it was interesting, too. Like, he was like, oh, you like this. You know what you do.
Oh, my God.
I like Mark, you doing it, too. I just, Steven, I'm going to need him. I'm with Khonshu at this point. I'm on Team Khonshu. You want to get Steven in check because Steven...
You going to talk about me and Ahmed and you, this boy, this thing ain't no better.
He not.
He don't care about people. He just want to be in charge.
He do. He really do. But... Still, like, we lost the scarab now. So now, like...
Yeah, I did right, damn it, Steven.
You're right. See, I said Steven that effed it up for the team.
He had one job.
One job. But Layla, let me tell y'all about Layla. I thought it was interesting how she was looking at Arthur, doing what Arthur do, which is murdering people left and right. What you think? I don't trust her. For some reason, I just don't. I feel like the way they talking to each other, between her relationship with Arthur, maybe that's her daddy. I don't know.
I don't think that's her dad. I think she knows him, and maybe, or if she doesn't know him, she knows about him, and maybe she had. I don't think outside of the suit, because she keeps calling it the suit. She doesn't call it like Kansu. She doesn't call it like. Well, ask Kansu for help. Like I feel like he just told her about the suit. And I think she thinks it's just like a suit that he can just summon versus it being like a whole mythological backstory to it. I don't know what she knows as far as why he has the suit or how he got the suit.
Yeah.
I think like some of the mystical part of it is a little bit, she's in the dark on that because like she couldn't see the jackal. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't really... You never see her reaction to Arthur doing anything until he kills that man. And then, even still, she looked so confused. You know, you saw her face. She was just like, what did I just watch? And my thing is, I feel like, you know, they always linger too long. Because it's not like you could have made a quiet getaway. You on a moped, or a bike, whatever, a motorcycle, whatever she was on. But... Like, you weren't gonna make a quiet getaway, but you should have, like, left and made it look like you just drove by versus, like, you was standing there. Yeah. But now he knows, and he's gonna come after you now. I mean, he's gonna come after her anyway, but he's definitely coming after her now, and I feel like,
because at this point, he's just killing people to kill people.
Well, is it him killing the people, or is it Amit killing the people?
Both. You know, like, it's giving me very sacrifice, like, I'm sacrificing your soul so you can help me get, like, stronger. That's what it's giving.
Yeah. I don't know. But then, after Mark ends up destroying public property and arguing with somebody nobody else can see, we do a little fast forward. And there's and then, we're in Africa, ho! Baby! Back to the motherland!
Even in the mirror, shivering, but Mark on that flow with that shirt on.
Drunk, dazed, and confused.
Nice and old.
But baby, we woke up in Egypt. We are in Egypt.
Looking good.
We in Egypt.
I said, keep Mark on the screen. But
I am very excited to see what
to see Mark shirtless. All right, keep going.
I am very excited to see what wacky adventures we get into next week in Egypt. So let's wrap it up with and then I said, come on, Arabic rap, because that rap was
I know, we're gonna cut up in Egypt.
It's gonna be a good time.
It is.
But yeah,
so, theories. Final thoughts.
I would like to talk about my Stephen Mark theory. And you can expand on yours, and then we'll do some predictions. Okay. So, my theory is that Stephen was created by Mark's brain to kind of embody all of his lesser traits. And to also be a safe space for the parts of himself that he can't have those parts of himself in the forefront when he's being a mercenary, fighting things, being you know what I'm saying? And then when he had that conversation when Stephen had the conversation with Layla about the poem, he's like, it's my favorite. She's like, no, it's my favorite. I think Stephen is kind of like the parts of Layla that he wanted to keep, or like things he remembered about her that he just kind of embodied into this second personality. Because, I mean, at this point, we have to believe that Mark was the primary and that Stephen kind of formed after that. Because the fact that Stephen has been in the dark for this long, we don't know how this long has been. I just feel like Stephen is not primary. I feel like Mark has been primary this whole time. And he created Stephen as an alias, but then it became a second personality, and now they're two separate people, or he already has a split personality or dissociative personality, and now it just got a little bit more out of hand now that there's a little magic involved. But I feel like like, you know how we all, just to get a little deep, you know how we all walk around with like a mask on, like we show the world one version of ourselves, and then we get home and we take it off, or we get to a safe space and we take it off, and then we can be like the worst part of ourselves. I feel like Steven is the mask that Mark needs to be able to walk through the world unscathed. You know what I'm saying? And so Mark is the protector who shows up when Steven can't handle things. So like when the real world gets a little too hard, he has to go escape and go do the mercenary stuff. And then, you know, like, because that's why he sent Layla the divorce papers and stuff like that. He's like, no, she's better off without me. You know how like people do instead of actually facing their feelings. I think Steven's kind of the scapegoat. But that's my theory.
Okay. I feel like now you like debunk my whole little thing. But I'm gonna still shoot my shot.
Shoot your shot.
Okay. So I thought it was interesting how they talked about when they were in the car, and they talked about I'm sorry, I'm like blanking out. Okay, in the car, Steven, and they were explaining who was Mark and what Mark did, and like kill all these archaeologists and stuff. So I thought that was very interesting because I'm assuming they had to be out in the desert somewhere, right? So what if one of the archaeologists was actually like Steven, and he literally had taken on him, because he said you were nearly dead when I found you. So maybe he was trying to make up for the fact, and maybe him and Steven like met in like this like afterlife place, and then he was like, I'll take you with me, because he was like, oh, we've always been able to like build a wall between each other, like, and it seems like Steven really does have like this whole like life, but granted it could be like he's just like projecting, but maybe like Steven really is a whole different person. Like, I don't know.
See, neither one of us have read the comics.
No,
this is all us just taking these information from them. So that's really, I like that idea though. I like the idea of like them meeting in the underworld. Yeah. And him maybe like Khonshu being like, I mean, not saying Khonshu's not Hades. So, but just maybe like Khonshu being like, you coming back, and then this is the deal, but then maybe he being like, that guy maybe being someone he was trying to protect and couldn't. Right. Oh, that's...
See? Because that's I'm like, oh, I can't wait to dive into like Mark's stuff, because I feel like he's saying I'm trying to right my wrongs. You know what I mean? And granted, like how they kill those people, it was like really jacked up. So I'm just like, maybe he felt bad for Steven, and he took Steven on, and like Steven is like, because Steven knows like a lot. Like he seems very like he would be like an architect or something like that. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
We can go either way.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. Yeah. Cool. All right, so predictions for next week.
You want me to go first? Okay. Since we're in Egypt, I think we're going to get a lot more backstory about what happened in Egypt, or maybe like in this arena. Because it seemed like they were in the desert when that whole event happened with Mark. Including Mark almost died. So I feel like since Mark seemed like he's going to be the more dominant one, baby daddy Mark. I feel like, cause I don't want, like, I need a break from Steven. Like, Steven needs to stay in the background. I'm sorry, Mark looks good. Mark seems very efficient.
They have the same face. It's the same person.
But he really, personality. Mark has this, like, confidence about him that I was like, Mark, come through. Anyway, I want more on Mark on the scene. I feel like next week we're going to focus more on Mark's side of the story. Layla, I feel like is going to magically like pop up out of nowhere. We don't know how or why. Maybe like Steven's stupid enough to have his phone tracked. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like we're going to learn a lot more about how this even came to be in the first place and get more layers to that. Thus also learning what Arthur is doing on the backside.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
So I know I went on a little rant about the trailers. Apparently there are trailers. My bad. You don't play them after the episode, so how am I supposed to know? Even Issa Rae did that.
Baby.
And she would give us nothing. They edited the stank out of them things. They gave no preference to the actual storyline. Yeah,
but at least they had a little box. You could click down and go watch it.
Nothing. No. My predictions for next week is that I'm actually the opposite. I don't think we're going to see Layla next week.
Oh, bless it. I mean, no offense to Layla, but she ain't giving us nothing. If she ain't giving me nothing, I don't want to hear it.
Okay. Well,
that's the story, people. Oh, maybe Layla is like a mercenary.
Based on how she just pushed that man and didn't fight, I would date not.
Oh,
her fighting was very insufficient.
Okay. I'm room for you though a little bit.
Not saying, you know, women can be mercenaries. We'll be better at it, actually.
Don't do that. All right. Don't do that.
Anyway, what she gonna do? Let me speak Russian at you. That's gonna kill the alien coming from the sky.
Okay. Oh, prediction, thoughts.
Okay. Next week, I predict that we will we'll be just in Egypt, only in Egypt.
Okay.
We might get a little bit more Kansu time. I feel like a lot of arguments, maybe. I think Steven will show up, but only in a reflection.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a very, like you said, I agree, it's going to be a very Mark-heavy episode. A lot of him chasing Arthur or fighting Arthur's people, trying to implement or infiltrate where they are, trying to find that tomb where Amit's remains are, Amit's body. I think it's going to be a lot more action-packed. At least that's my hope.
Same.
I think it's going to be a lot more action-packed. If not, then the following week will probably be.
Yeah. Because it's only 6 episodes, so.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Like, we're going to be done with this series before summer. So, really and truly, I think we'll be done almost before the end of the month. But
yeah, I
think it's going to be hopefully more interesting. This episode's interesting, but hopefully even more interesting.
I mean, it's definitely like a more informational episode. Like, all this like give y'all
setup episode.
Yeah, and I'm hoping like we kind of like hit it, you know, get somewhere. Okay, and on that note, thank you for joining us for this episode of Heyyy Blk Chile. If you liked it, then like and subscribe. Comment yet again any other shows you would like for us to watch, and until next time.
Until next time.
As she said, Steven.
Count your motherfucking days, Steven.
Okay, we good. Everything look good. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And